What up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Kevin.
I'm Tarsha.
This is Conversations with the Crawleys, and on this channel we do lots of conversations about faith, family, relationships, and we do recaps, reviews, and commentaries of some of our favorite shows. This one is all about the latest episode of Ready to Love in Miami. So listen, we got to talk about this because there's so much stuff happening with this.
Well, we got the School of Love
by
Tommy, Uncle Tommy.
We got not being able to read body language with Lyndon.
Well, it wasn't the body language, was it? It was more so him making sure he
can't read the room, basically. All right, so listen, if this is content that you enjoy, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe, hit the like, request notifications,
and share. And
we'll see you in the comments. Consider becoming a member and checking out the merch store. All right.
Yes.
So it's the ladies' turn this time. Ladies are in the lounge, which is a converted church. And Marcia's like, stained glass, a pew, a bar.
I can go to church all the time now.
I can do this.
I can do this type of church. This is my type of church. Let's have church.
What up, Marcia? All right, so Tommy gives the assignment that, hey, make sure the dates are infused with you. Make sure that they get to see things and get to know things about you that at this stage you probably wouldn't be sharing. Right. So initially, Mercedes, Sue-Ann, Mark Anthony, and Blake go out on a Kangoo date.
They're making up these exercises now.
Listen.
I'm like, you're in, it looked like a ski boot with
springs in it.
Spring on it.
Yeah.
And you just bounce up and down. I hope they didn't charge them $20 a piece for that.
Listen, I'm just telling y'all right now, because right now the other thing I just saw was that they got the slap boxing league that is now on TBS.
Slap boxing league?
Yeah, it's like a league, like Dana White.
Slap box.
Listen, all the stuff that we did as kids, we got to find a way to make them profitable. So listen, if you are a hopscotch expert, put together the hopscotch league or something.
I think there is a hopscotch league.
Because
I think there is.
Yeah, so they did Kangoo, which was basically aerobics, but with this special.
They were just jumping up and down.
Great for calf muscles, I'm sure.
Hey, well, the main thing is that they got them out. I guess fitness is kind of what the ladies are into.
Yes.
And, they wanted to get some alone time, which they did.
They did. Mark Anthony was like, I don't know about this. Blake was like, mm-mm. And then he was like, well, I guess I got to.
Right, because the ladies were excited to do this. I don't know. It didn't sound like they've done it before.
And sometimes, brothers, you just got to do stuff that you don't really want to do to keep the lady happy.
Especially if you first date and you start trying everything.
Yeah. So, Mark Anthony breaks off with Mercedes. Talks about how when he was a kid, he kind of moved around a lot. So, kind of chaotic, but he's stable now. She talks about how her previous relationship ended due to the person that she was with, their infidelity, which actually resulted in a kid. So
they're being vulnerable. They're sharing things that typically they don't share immediately. And so they're flirting.
Yes.
And it feels like it's going in the right direction.
And he
you giving them eyes.
He's like, hey.
Hey.
Hey, shawty, what your name is?
Right. So she's like, oh, we're going to get in trouble.
Can I bounce in your house?
Can I bounce in your house?
So.
Okay.
I mean, he was staring her down.
He was staring her. Only thing he had to do was lick his lips.
She wasn't mad at him.
She wasn't mad because he was like, come over. And she was like, to me, it was so funny. It was like being in high school. Like when the boy put your hand, you're like, oh.
Yes. Blake broke off with Sue-Ann. And she was like, she was looking forward to it.
Right. So I think she's one out of maybe somebody else that's feeling Blake. I don't know. So far, she's the only one that I can see or recall that was feeling Blake.
Right.
And so they're talking and, they're, going back and forth. And so he says he has a nickname for her, just to be able to, a moment where they need to sneak away, as he put it.
And it was so original. The nickname for her was so original. I mean, I don't know how the man is just to come up with that on the spot. He called her Susu. Mm-hmm. Okay.
She was feeling it.
She was good with it.
She was feeling it.
As long as that's what she good with, she good with it.
She was feeling it. So
more power to you. She does ask if he sees a future there, and he's like, I see some potential. Mm-hmm. There's some options here. Mm-hmm. But he also is very very realistic. He's like, look, I'm not looking for the fairy tale. I've been married before. I got kids. I want to know if it's somebody that I can vibe with, somebody that I can get along with, and we can connect. He's like, I'm not looking for, the princess, sleep on the bench, and the fairy tale thing. He's like, I'm over that. I need somebody I can live the rest of my life with.
And I think if he stayed authentic with that at the beginning, all those things make sense at his age.
Yeah.
So
in this situation, because again, he's got 3 kids already.
It's appropriate.
Yeah.
So I think that he shouldn't have wavered at the beginning. Mm-mm. I think he should have made this statement back then.
Yep.
And then whoever's not for you because they do want kids or to move on,
then they're not for you.
They're not for you.
Move around.
Move around.
Listen, move around. All right, so then Cynthia and Andre go on a date, and they go on a painting date. Mm-hmm. And he comes in, and she's like, "You're making me blush." Mm-hmm. So she asks him, "What is he looking for?" And he's like, "A womanly woman, basically." And she's like, "Well, how can you look past if the woman be based upon her background, her past, her experience?" If she's developed this shell, can you look past it? Mm-hmm. Can you get beyond that?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah. He's like, I can definitely, I recognize that that's possible. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I can help move past it. Mm-hmm. And, he's like, I forget if he said it or she said it, but one of them was like the softer side behind the armor, behind the shell. Oh, she said
that.
Okay.
Behind the shell, yeah. She said that. She made that statement.
And then she started crying.
I mean, she was crying. Only thing she needed was a snot bubble.
Well, she had his sleeve.
Well, he offered the sleeve like at the end. He was like, he got short sleeve on too. But, gave her tissue. Mm-hmm. And then I thought, she was kind of like coming around. But it was like turning on a faucet. She was really being vulnerable and open. She's like, look, pretty much was like, I'm feeling you. I want to be that soft person, but I need someone that's going to not mistreat
and be patient.
My gentleness, so.
Because she also says she realizes that things have gone left before because she didn't open up. So she's like, I'm trying to do something different now and open up, but don't abuse my opening up. And he's like, yeah, he's going to treat her with care.
Yeah. So I feel like they complement each other very well.
Yeah.
And when they talk to each other and finding that, I feel like that commonality between the two of them, it's coming together, So we'll see if he's finding any interest anywhere else. He seems to be, leaning her direction really strong.
Yeah, because he had another one before, but now it's like, yeah, this might be the one for him. And then Corvaya goes on a date with Fabrice. And I think it was in our comments. One of y'all said something about the fact that y'all not sure if he's 44.
I think he is. He might just had a hard life.
I laughed when I saw it, and I was like, I can see that.
I can see that. But a lot of times, sometimes people live hard lives, and you can be younger,
you
but
might
look
afford
older.
That birth certificate to get back in the country or something.
Shut up.
My man's 63 years old.
Shut up.
So, but they go on a bike ride, and
things went left. I'm putting it out there. I would want anyone to say the things he said to her
at all.
Because they were off-putting. I was really like, you know her like that? Like, you're like my first ever girlfriend in Puerto Rico. Like, what?
Yeah, because it started with, she was like, okay, talk to me about your business. Mm-hmm. And he was like, yeah, I've had this brand. I had this time, and then I sold it. And she's like, oh, one of my things I wanted was somebody who had built and sold a business. In other words, somebody who's entrepreneurial, right? He was like, yeah, about the money. And she's like, no, not about the money. He's like, no, I know. You can say it with me. I'm okay. It's about the money. You wanted to know if I had money. It's basically what he was saying. So he was basically just like, I know you. I know your type. He also said something about that. He said, you're so young. Yeah, well, if you're 64 years old.
Shut up.
She's going to be young to you.
He is not 64 years old. That is not what he presented.
That's not what he said. But Will Packer may not have done that background check.
Oh, my God. Yeah. I was just like, really like, wow. Instead of allowing her to talk, right? Now, she has said in the past, she do want certain things.
Yes.
And she does want someone to treat her a certain way.
And she wants to be spoiled.
She does want to be spoiled. But at least allow her to say it before you say it.
Right.
Let's put it that way.
Right.
Let her come out with it. Then you feeling like you're going to read her mind.
And put her into this box, this category that you think she fits into because of whatever. Right. So needless to say, in fact, I think that they kind of cut that short. They were like, look, I think everybody gets the point on this one. There's no need to continue on this date.
I was surprised she even asked him on a date. So I'm like, you better be glad you're getting a date.
I don't think she asked. I think that this is one of those.
Those were setup dates.
The producers were like, all right,
this is gonna
who are we gonna sacrifice to go on a date with Fabrice? Kavaya, it's your turn. Go on this date with him.
Oh God. Whew.
So Morgan, Marcia, Lyndon, and Tony go on a beach date. Mm-hmm. And Morgan's like, it's good for her because right now the two that she talks to mostly are Lyndon and Tony. Those are the two. Mm-hmm. And remember, Marcia had the date with Tony last week. Mm-hmm. He actually prayed a prayer. Mm-hmm. And she was like, oh, invite me to your Bible study.
Right. At the church with the bar in it.
So Morgan reveals that she's never been in love. Mm-hmm. And I think she was 38, if I remember her age correctly. Right. And so Tony was like, I'm not saying that's a red flag. I do got to investigate a little more, but that is a little concerning that you can say that you've never been in love. Mm-hmm. So, and I mean, I think we've talked about that before, is that there is sometimes, and I think sometimes it may be that you just have never
been in infatuation.
Right.
Because when you're younger, especially you're talking about in your high school years and stuff,
right,
and you're in 20s, it's more infatuation. It's not, I wouldn't call that love, but it gives the appearance of love, right? Because you get the butterflies and you can't wait to see them, and you're all this focus on one person. So
yeah. So Lyndon had gotten Marcia's number, but he never used it.
Hey, she was like, wherever you want to really put interest in, you put interest in. Because he was like, I live the nightlife.
I got the nightlife going on. I ain't got
sleep.
the time.
And she's like, no, don't do that.
She was like, don't miss the opportunity.
Don't do that.
Don't miss the opportunity. And Linda was like, oh,
there's opportunity?
There's opportunity?
Okay, let me take opportunity. She was like, whoa, not that opportunity. Opportunity to use your tongue and have words come off of it.
Right. There's
not
an opportunity
put your tongue in my mouth.
There's an opportunity for you to call me, not for you to be all, yeah.
You're like, bro, I ain't trying to kiss you.
Lyndon just was like, oh, is that what we doing? And she was like, no, that's not what we doing. We ain't
there yet. We still got like 10 brothers.
Right. This is like early in the process, dude. So, I'm sorry.
I mean, he making high school rookie mistakes here.
Yeah.
You gotta be careful being older and start trying to do that.
Yeah. So then on the other side of the beach, Tony and Morgan have a conversation. And he lets it be known how he feels about it. He's like, look,
I'm feeling you. I'm feeling you in the spirit.
I'm feeling you. You feeling me. We feeling each other. Let's feel how this feels.
Right.
And she does say she likes an aggressive man. She likes a man that knows what he wants, pushes towards it. She wants that.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. He's like, I like the way she look at me.
But then she's like, but I'm still, because Tony's name be ringing in these streets. I don't know about Smooth Tony from up top.
What is the up top part? Smooth Tony from up top.
Smooth Tony from up top.
Not just Smooth Tony.
Right.
But from up top.
Not Pretty Tony.
Not Pretty Tony.
Pretty Tony, what they call him. But Smooth Tony.
Smooth Tony.
From up top. All right.
All right, watch out, Smooth Tony.
Hey.
You get caught in them streets, it's over.
Jeffrey and DeMario. Jeffrey takes DeMario. They go to horseback riding. Because Jeffrey's like, I'm a little country girl at times. And y'all let us know, because we thought that the boots that not Demetrius, but DeMario had.
Yeah. They look like rain boots.
They look like rain boots.
Garden boots or something.
Yeah, like he went to like Lowe's or got him some boots.
Because I thought she was saying they were cowboy boots. But when he was on the horse.
They didn't look like
no
cowboy boots that we've seen.
Yeah.
So, and she was struggling with the horse. For her to be a country girl, she was trying to force the horse to go slower. And the horse was like, no, I need to hurry up and get you off me. So let's keep moving.
Right. He was trotting or something.
Yeah.
But he was like, Mario's like, I'm a fast learner. I'm pretty smooth on this horse.
I get this horse now.
Right.
Rolling in this horse now. Let's roll.
Mario's like, I got this. I don't know what she doing over there, but I got this.
Okay. And then on the other side, Johnny.
Well, hold on, though.
Sorry.
Why do they have him hosing down the horse?
Listen,
while they're talking?
You got to work for what you're doing. You got to work for this date.
Like
it's a full experience date.
I was like, if I'm paying to ride the horse, why am I hosing the horse down?
It's a full experience date.
Okay.
She introducing him to the country.
All righty. Okay. I'm just wondering. I was like, we talking and we gotta hose the horse down.
Yeah. What's her name? Not Jeffrey. I'm sorry. Janique and Lyndon go to the wine bar. And remember, Janique is one of the newer ones. She came in at the brunch
With Cynthia.
right? And good conversation.
Oh yeah, she doesn't mind. She said, "Look, I don't mind your nightlife. She's like, we can turn up together, and at the same time, she's like, when it's time, I do want to have time where we're at the house and we're hanging out. She's like, I feel like there's a balance there, but she's like, I don't mind that because I'll be there with you.
Right.
Just hand me free drinks.
Hey, listen.
Look. He's like, there's a way to resolve all this.
There's a quick way to resolve
that means I get to stay doing what I'm doing.
You there with me.
And we're there together.
We ain't got to worry about
who going out, who you hanging out with, or who you serving. We all there together, boo.
Everybody, yep. So then they are back at the church, ladies' lounge. And they start recapping dates. Marcia tells everybody, Linda tried to kiss me, y'all.
I was trying to give him opportunity, but he didn't know what opportunities he's supposed to have been taking.
He did not read the signs. He was making up signs. The one of the people that they said, they were saying who they were feeling, the one that kind of just we've seen kind of who everybody so far is feeling. Janique though said that she's also feeling blue. And we saw Blue briefly last episode, I think it was. We haven't seen him this one, so be interesting to see. And then Lyndon also tried to kiss Corvaya. Corvaya is what she said.
That's what she said.
So Lyndon, look, let me put my lips on whatever I can put my lips on. Again.
That's not the way you're supposed to be playing this.
No.
Obviously, you're early in the process. You want to get to know the women.
Yes.
And then decide as you get further on, because now it's special.
Right.
Then you just kissing everything that allows you to kiss it.
Yeah. So in the bottom, names that were mentioned were Lyndon, Tony, Fabrice, and Blake. Jeffrey's like, yeah, Blake. Let's talk about Blake. because she says that Blake has basically said that he is
He didn't
tired
want-
of this show,
tired of the
doing
process. He
'cause
already found his one.
and his one is Jeffrey, is what she says.
That's what she said.
Susu.
Oh, hold on. And she also says he
right.
seems very controlling because it's like he's asking me who I've been out with, blah, blah, blah. Like interrogating her, that she feels like she's in a relationship with Blake.
That's what she said.
That's what she said.
Susu sitting over there like...
That's a new name.
That's her nickname. Susu. Susu sitting over there like...
Woo.
That
Say
don't match
what?
up. That ain't matching up.
When? Well, who?
She's like, all right, I'll talk to him about that.
Okay, she's like, I'm an attorney. I know how to interrogate myself.
Okay. So in the bottom we have Fabrice and Blake. So Blake goes on his date with Sue Ann, and she recaps. She's like, listen, this is what Jeffrey said about you. And he's like, that's interesting, because I ain't say nothing like that.
And he was like, he felt like people would have pegged him.
He's like, I tried to kind of, because again, one of the things we've noticed is that he's very stiff almost.
Yeah.
And so that could give the thoughts that maybe he is a little controlling or a little too
Rigid.
tightly wound or whatever. And so he's like, I did not want that to be kind of what was thought about me, but it's interesting that that's already happening, and what she's saying isn't true. So, but he is still around. They still think that he's ready to love.
But he's going to have to open up.
He's going to have to.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then Fabrice goes with Marcia, because in the ladies' lounge, the ladies were like, listen, Fabrice talked about sex way too much, which is kind of what I had said last week, was that, listen, it was too much. It was overwhelming. And so, but when Marcia comes in, he's like,
You're beautiful.
you're beautiful. And he's like, look at,
Right. He's all in her chest.
Yeah. And she's like, I feel like I got, yeah.
Cover up, because you're not being very respectful. So
That's what I would do when I was 12, 13. I'm going to be honest. That's what, when I was young. But you can, as a man, you can admire, check out, and keep it moving, and not make the person feel uncomfortable.
correct.
But he hasn't learned that
No.
in his 63 years of life.
Shut up. He's not 63.
Y'all let me know what age y'all think he is. Do y'all believe he's 44?
I'm just saying, he presented 44, so I'm going to take his word that he's given that he's 44. I have seen people who are younger
44 for the 20th time.
and had a hard life. I have.
I got you. I hear you.
I've seen the streets can be rough.
We have, yes. You're right, we have.
I have seen people be younger.
I'm just saying he's 44 for the 20th time.
So,
All right.
anyway,
So,
he was told.
well, because, she brings it up to him, and he says it shows to him a lack of maturity that they are not engaged in the conversation. I'm going to say it's a lack of maturity that you have to bring up that conversation initially.
Correct.
That's a conversation that if you're building something and you recognize the value of it and the value of the woman that's ideally giving that, having that your partner, then
you save it for that.
So yeah,
it's not for an open audience, but he was saying it for shock value. That's what he said,
and he got himself shocked right off the show.
He sure did.
So yeah, he's not ready to love. So that was pretty much it in the trailer. There's a couple of things that we're looking forward to next week. So Blake looks like he does have a conversation with Jeffrey, or tries to. Jeffrey puts her lips on
Mark
Anthony, and Demario's like, I was turned off. I was shocked.
Well,
because who was it last season? Mike was like, I'm feeling Kayla, but she putting her lips on everybody.
Oh, yeah.
So we having that happen again.
Yep.
All right, so that's it. Let us know what you think. Seriously, let us know if you think Mark Anthony is 44, 64, or if he is like 102, just with some good moisturizer. But let us know what you think. We'll see y'all next time. Have a great one. Be blessed.
Bye.